Literacy is probably the biggest challenge that all schools are facing, especially after a pandemic. The data was undeniable. Many of our students were 2 to 3 grade levels behind. We also noticed that we saw deficits in our African American and Hispanic students, particularly the boys, where they just weren't reading at the level in which they needed to be. We knew that in order for us to be successful as a Holdsworth team, we would have to face some of the challenges that we saw here on campus day in and day out.
Our problem of practice was to focus on grades 1 through 3 in reading literacy, making sure that our students not only knew how to read, but when they went to the next grade, they had a positive outlook and perception about reading and the ability to read and grow and get better at that.
You have to set that bar high because however you set it, students are gonna rise. If it's low, they're gonna meet it. If it's high, they're gonna meet it also.
We didn't want the gaps that students had and the challenges that students had to create a barrier. Because it's really easy to say, you know, that's a lot of work. I don't know if I can get Johnny or Sarah to be able to read.
One of the things that we did was a paper plate activity. The first thing that we asked them to do is actually to envision the child. I, of course, put a picture of my son in the center of the paper plate.
And we had them write down like descriptors or characteristics of a teacher that they would want their child to have. And it really hit home with a lot of our teachers.
I chose Lawson Gray. He's my nephew. I wrote down, I want his teacher to be patient, understanding, and knowledgeable.
A teacher who is fun, engaging, flexible, inspirational, challenging, a strong communicator.
And I really think it helped bring that mindset piece home for a lot of teachers. And if you go in classrooms, you'll see they have their paper plates up in their rooms.
It made me reflect on who I am as an educator and what I need to bring for my students this year.
I had to make sure that if I'm wanting these qualities for my nephew, then I have to make sure that I'm providing these qualities for my students.
As a leadership team, we had to believe that teachers could do it. We build the capacity in the educators so that then they can turn around and build the capacity in the students. Our first grade teachers came up with the plan. We decided that we would have some shorter, small, intentional lessons. So it wasn't that we weren't delivering the instruction. I think the chunks were too big for kids. So when we shortened those lessons, we even recorded and took some video that we can go back and look at, it started to impact the lesson planning. It started to impact the alignment, what was happening in those classrooms. Then we started doing learning walks.
We're implementing these new intervention plans. We're implementing new strategies and engaging activities for these students to be more interested in reading.
So all of these small pieces, almost like grapes on a vine, started to come together. And as other teachers saw the data growing in grade 1, it was so much easier to say, let's look at that for your grade level now. So then we had that motivation and that excitement.
The gains that we have made in just really 1 year in dealing with our problem of practice are tremendous.
Students' perceptions changed about reading. It was like, is this really happening? And it was happening. And it was working. Parents saw it. Teachers saw it, leaders saw it.
And I was like, wow, we actually did it. It worked.
The Holdsworth journey was, I call it mind-blowing. It literally changed my life. If any of our campuses had that training, it would definitely change the game for kids because we wouldn't turn a blind eye to some of the systemic problems that we have.
And so now, completing 2 years of Holdsworth, I can truly say that the process is life-changing. Not only did it change me and my team professionally, but it also changed us in ways that we never really imagined.
We are not finished by no stretch of the imagination. We do understand that we may still be in a pandemic, but the fire that we have inside of us that's been lit, we're forging ahead. We know where we were, we know where we still need to go, and we do understand that we may have some different challenges this year, but our focus is still the same. We are still building literate students. We are still bringing teachers along for the ride. We are still working on mindset and making sure that we understand the beliefs of the teachers who are with the students so that we're all on the same ride, on the same bus, going in the same direction.